Being the newest tank to join Final Fantasy XIV's growing job roster, the Gunbreaker was a breakout star in Shadowbringers. High damage, great utility, and a stylish aesthetic reminiscent of Final Fantasy VIII made the job an immediate favorite. Endwalker brings the first expansion for the job, and provides the first real test of the developer's goals for tanks after the Shadowbringers reworks. My name is Emmerich, and today I'm exploring how Gunbreaker's changes going into Endwalker bring the job closer to the fast-paced, protective gunslinging fantasy that has defined the job for the last 2 years. I'm going to start with Gunbreaker's defensive changes, as they're subtle but make a huge difference in the survivability of the job. Thankfully, Super Ball-Eye's duration is being increased to 10 seconds to bring it more in line with Hollowed Ground. Aurora is also receiving a second charge to allow for more consistent self-healing. The biggest defensive change to Gunbreaker, however, has to be the new Heart of Corundum ability gained at level 82. Replacing Heart of Stone, this ability still provides the 15% damage reduction and the added bonus of placing your Brutal Shell effect on a player if you target someone else. Heart of Corundum adds 2 additional effects to yourself or the target. The first effect, Clarity of Corundum, is an extra burst of damage reduction for a short duration. The second, Catharsis of Corundum, restores HP when below 50% or when the effect expires. Yes, you heard that correctly. If Scholar can steal Warrior's Thrill of Battle, it's only fair that Gunbreaker can steal Scholar's Excogitation on a 25-second cooldown. Now, it's important to remember that the heal potencies are not listed on the tooltip for Heart of Corundum. Looking at other heal effects on tanks, 400 potency seems reasonable, but even at lower potencies, the effect itself is very exciting. Endwalker Gunbreakers are packing extra heat with the addition of a third cartridge to the job gauge at level 88 with the new Cartridge Charge 2 trait. This trait provides extra leeway between No Mercy windows and provides more cartridges to use with the new level 90 skill Double Down. Double Down is a short-range AoE that deals a whopping 1200 potency to the first enemy hit, but it costs 2 cartridges. With the inclusion of a third cartridge, Bloodfest is also being adjusted to fill all 3 cartridges for extra opportunities to overcap. Another large change to cartridge abilities comes from a quality of life adjustment for Gnashing Fang and its associated combo. Gnashing Fang, Savage Claw, and Wicked Talon now all share the same hotkey, with each piece of the combo replacing the previous button. This isn't just the hotkey savings, however. I believe this change will make the job much more accessible to people who may have been put off by the sheer number of unique hotkeys Gunbreaker needs to press, as well as controller players aspiring to pick up the Gunblade. Do I believe this dumbs down the job? Not at all. In fact, I believe that this change enhances Gunbreaker's job fantasy of slashing the enemy left and right while constantly pulling the trigger. Having that trigger be represented by 2 keys instead of 4 feels like a benefit. In Endwalker, Continuation gains a follow-up for Brutal Strike called Hyper Velocity. When presented with the changes to Gnashing Fang, cartridges, and Double Down, this completely overhauls the burst phase of Gunbreaker's rotation. No Mercy window will require fewer hotkeys, but feels far busier with the inclusion of Hyper Velocity. In Shadowbringers, only the Gnashing Fang combo required Continuation to be weaved between skills inside of the No Mercy window. This provided some intricate gameplay with potential double weave towards the beginning of the window. If needed for latency or gameplay reasons, however, those weaves could be spaced out to require only 1 weave for each skill used. With the inclusion of Hyper Velocity in Endwalker, the number of abilities required to weave between weapon skills during No Mercy greatly increases. If you like fast-paced, almost manic burst phases, this is a great change. The mechanical changes to Warrior I outlined previously made theory crafting an opener and burst window difficult. In a release, moving to a charge system and the addition of extra buffs for Primal Rend made it difficult to review without some hands-on experience to understand how the skills and abilities work together. The core of Gunbreaker's burst window remains unchanged, however, and I'm much more confident in adjustments made to their opener. Take this standard opener used in the Balance Discord for a 4th cooldown No Mercy window. We have the following opener. Begin with your standard combo of Keen Edge and Brutal Shell. Drink your damage potion between Brutal Shell and Solid Barrel. Begin another Keen Edge combo and weave No Mercy. From there, begin the Gnashing Fang combo, weaving your continuation ability, Jugular Rip. Interrupt the Gnashing Fang to use Sonic Break and weave both Blasting Zone and Bowshot. Continue the combo with Savage Claw, weaving Abdomen Tear and Bloodfest. Finish the combo with Wicked Talon and weave Rough Divide and Eye Gouge. Use Burst Strike, weaving Rough Divide. Finish the original combo by using Brutal Shell, then Solid Barrel, and end your window with one last Burst Strike. No Mercy still has a 20-second duration, meaning that 9 weapon skills will fit into your window as before. Taking the standard opener and adding the new skills yields a surprisingly similar opener, even accounting for the extra cartridge and Double Down. Now you would go through the Gnashing Fang combo as before, but use Double Down instead of the first Burst Strike. From there, simply weave Hyper Velocity between each of the 2 remaining Burst Strikes and you have a solid foundation for an opener in Endwalker. If Gunbreaker was already too busy for you in Shadowbringers, the changes to continuation only exacerbates things. Between continuation uses, both charges of Rough Divide, Blasting Zone, Bowshock, and Bloodfest, more weaves will be required in the same window. The introduction of Double Down alleviates some of the extra weaves due to using 2 cartridges and having no continuation follow-up, but the overall number of weaves needed increases from 8 in Shadowbringers to 10 in Endwalker. In addition, the placement of those weaves becomes more strict, as 5 abilities now need to be weaved after cartridge skills instead of only the original 3 continuation abilities that followed the Gnashing Fang combo. Again, some will see this as a positive change for the job, but not everyone will be so welcoming to the extra weaves. Another quirk of Gunbreaker's rotation involves their interaction with skill speed. Most of Gunbreaker's abilities, such as No Mercy, Bloodfest, Bowshock, Rough Divide, and Blasting Zone, are on strict 30 or 60-second timers. Most of the weapon skills, however, have cooldowns affected by skill speed. This means that with any amount of skill speed, Gnashing Fang, Double Down, and Sonic Break will inevitably desync from the rest of the rotation. This isn't such a hassle for Double Down or Sonic Break, as they will exclusively be used during No Mercy and will effectively have a 60-second cooldown regardless. Gnashing Fang, however, will still desync from Blasting Zone if the 2 aren't carefully considered when moving between burst phases. This was my biggest hang-up with the Shadowbringers Gunbreaker, and I'm sad to see it persist moving into Endwalker. With all of that said, Gunbreaker is looking stronger than its previous iteration from Shadowbringers, if that was even possible. Gunbreaker, Warrior, Paladin, and Dark Knight all received changes that translate to very difficult choices for tank mains. I'm definitely still up in the air, but Gunbreaker makes a very strong case with the changes discussed here. Let's keep the discussion rolling in the comments and let me know what you think about the tank and Gunbreaker specific changes. If you liked the video, click the thumb or consider a sub. If you want to check out more content, links are in the description for Twitch, Twitter, and the community Discord.